Maryville beat out Kansas State 2-0. Kansas beat Missouri 2-0 as well, and Robert Morris beat Miami, Ohio 2-1. Then, in the semifinals, Maryville 2-0'd Robert Morris, Columbia College 2-0'd Kansas. And now in the grand finals that are playing right now, Columbia College is currently up 1-0 against Maryville. Also, there's the Big Ten playoffs, and in the quarterfinals, you had Michigan 2-0 Ohio State, Maryland 2-0 Michigan State, Iowa 2-1 Purdue, and Illinois is not played against Wisconsin yet. To finish it off, the West Regionals are going on at the same time right now over on twitch.tv/UCI Esports as UC Irvine takes on Simon Fraser. Winners of the regional finals go to the College League of Legends Championship, while second place goes to play in versus the other second place finishers in the first and second place finishers of the Big Ten and Peach Belt Conference playoffs. And now that that is out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into pick ban.
So right away, we can already see that Kaisa was banned, and that's the big one I was looking for in this, because I don't know about you guys, but I've definitely been seeing Kaisa show up in all of my solo queue games.
Yeah, absolutely. Kaisa is a very strong champion right now. It's not very surprising to see her banned away.
But here on the blue side, we've got Tom Kench, Swain, and Trundle banned, and red side also banned Zach, Azir, and of course Kaisa. All strong bans in my opinion. I think they're all pretty powerful in the meta right now.
What? Can you run me through the rationality of banning away Trundle? I'm not too sure about that.
Trundle's been a big pick into champions like Skarner because of his ult, as well as his early clear. The clear speed that he has is kind of insane, especially when you compare it to other tank junglers. And the stats that he can steal against a lot of the meta tank junglers is just really good right now. And as you can see, Olaf was also picked, who has a pretty good clear speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and really
Olaf
good
is
into Skarner. Yeah.
Very powerful early game. He's excellent at skirmishing in the jungle. I'm pretty happy seeing him. So already we've seen both of the bottom lanes and the junglers get picked. Caitlyn Morgana for UT Dallas, and George Mason has Zaya Rakan. Both of these are very exceptionally powerful lanes. Of course, you have the synergy between Zaya and Rakan, and all of the added benefits that you get for pairing them together. But Caitlyn Morgana, I also think, is a very strong matchup because once either one of them hits a root onto the enemies, you have immediately, if Morgana hits the root with her Q, you have Caitlyn who's able to place a trap immediately. But if you have Caitlyn landing a trap on somebody, then Morgana is able to follow up with the Dark Binding. So they're able to keep their enemies in place for a very long time while Caitlyn lays down the damage.
Yeah, I'd definitely give them the bot lane, or the Caitlyn Morgana the edge in...
Oh, no. It appears that somebody might have mispicked on the side of George Mason, so they left, and I think we're going to get back into things
sorry,
real
his
quickly.
client crashed, that's the issue.
Oh, yeah. So,
but I'd
really
definitely give the Caitlyn Morgana the edge in that lane, especially against Rakan. I think Morgana just counters Rakan really hard, because the Black Shield, the binding can actually stop his W, and Rakan really doesn't want to be up near Caitlyn and Morgana when he really doesn't have any way of getting back with the root on him.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And that's really why Caitlyn Morgana can work out so exceptionally well. I'm definitely happy to see that as a counter pick. Well, not so much of a counter pick as just a good pick by UT Dallas.
I'm also a little bit surprised by the Gnar ban. I haven't really been seeing Gnar all that much recently. They might have more knowledge into the specific players, but I think just tank tops are stronger than Gnar right now.
Yeah, that definitely did seem like a target ban, banning away They're banning away George Mason's comfort picks, so it's not that shocking. Well, yeah, I definitely think that that's what that was. So we're getting back into the pick bands lobby, and I'm assuming we're going to be seeing the same picks and bans from
Yeah,
both
we
sides.
should be seeing the same picks and bans.
And of course, the Swain ban. Even with the nerfs in 7.7, he's still a very powerful adversary that you probably are not going to want to play against.
I can certainly tell you I banned him pretty much every game.
Yeah. I also agree with the Azir bans because Azir can be a very frustrating opponent to play against.
And the Zac ban is also a solid ban too. I'd probably put it over. I'd put Skarner over Zac in terms of ban priority, but as you can see, they got the Skarner, so not that big of a deal. And the Zac ganks can be insane if you have someone who really knows how to play Zac.
Yeah, if you can get a Zac to get a successful gank off, then that could very easily turn into a kill conversion very quickly. And he has I think Zac is a very powerful jungler right now. He has a quick clear speed. He has viable ganks pre-level 6, and even after he's hit level 6, you're still going to be able to get even better ganks. So he's good, really, at all points of the game.
And then we also have Ori and Gangplank banned. I think Ori is a pretty strong ban right now. The API changes really didn't change her all that much, and she's pretty much always either near the meta in terms of how good she is, or just meta in general.
Mm-hmm.
And then Gangplank is also just a solid ban, especially with Grassplank. It's really strong into tanks, just the free tank stats that he gets.
For sure. Here you see UT Dallas locking into Rise, and George Mason had taken that Ornn. What are your thoughts on Rise right now? How is he in the meta?
I think Rise is really strong in a team environment. I don't think he excels in solo queue just because of how powerful his ult can be. And then his damage is just kind of disgusting, honestly, how much damage he can put out.
Yeah, Rise is definitely a champion that you need a lot of time on to really master. And even then, I definitely agree with you. He's not a great champion for solo queue, just because you really need to be able to coordinate your ultimate as well as possible, and that's not really possible in solo queue. But if you have a good Rise player, you can just dominate the mid lane and really the entire game.
And then the Camille pick too, that kind of catches me off guard. My guess is that Will Win plays a lot of carry top laners, so that's probably why he picked it.
Mm-hmm.
With the buffs to Baron and Elder Dragon, we've been seeing a lot more team fights as for the meta, so split pushers like Camille have been kind of pushed out, so that's what really caught me off guard with that pick.
Yeah, so obviously you have the bruiser against the tank in the top lane, so that seems relatively even. However, I think that if Camille can get kills onto Ornn, then that lane could really spiral out of control, and Will Win could really take control of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Camille can really take over the game. I don't know if you saw the third, fourth place match for the North America matches.
Mm-hmm.
And the Camille on Echo Fox just took off, so I'm sure if the Camille gets ahead, she can really just dominate this game.
Absolutely, but it really does seem like you have carrying champions all over the map on both sides. You have the Olaf, he can snowball really well. You have Skarner, who might have a bit of a tougher time in the early game against the Olaf, but really, as long as he doesn't die, then he's going to be able to transition into the late game very easily and be able to get those tank stats. Rise and Nivea, I'm not so sure about, actually. Both of them have cleanse against each other, which I think is wise, but other than that, I'm not really sure. Who do you think has the dominant hand in that lane matchup?
I think Ryze definitely has it early. Unless like Anivia gets some cute stuff with like the stun and E. But in team fights, I definitely give Anivia the edge, mostly because with her wall, she can keep Olaf out of the fight as well to help stop the diving. So, and then her ult's just always really good in team fights.
Oh, absolutely. I think really they have two different objectives. Ryze obviously just wants to push in the waves and roam to either bottom lane or top lane. But Anivia really just wants to scale up and be able to have those team fights in the late game where you're able to just one-shot the enemy ADC. Speaking of the enemy ADC, though, that might be a little tougher than anticipated because of the Morgana Black Shield, which I really think Morgana into Xayah Rakan is really good because you're able to negate so many opportunities of the enemy lane to be engaging. If Xayah tries to land an E, you have the Black Shield on Morgana. You can just place it on Caitlyn, and that route doesn't go through. And Rakan can't get the quickness or the grand entrance off because of the Black Shield. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see how these lanes play out. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to throw it over to some music real fast, and we will be right back once we are in game.
And we're in game, so
we are. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the match between UT Dallas and George Mason. My name is Sir Potato the Ninth, and I am joined here by Thresh out of Hooks. And let's get into introducing the teams. On the blue side, you have UT Dallas with Will Win on Camille in the top lane, Faith on Olaf in the jungle, X-Case on Ryze in the mid lane, the Johns on Caitlyn in the ADC position, and joining him will be Keen on Morgana in the support position. Why don't you introduce George Mason?
okay, so up in top lane we have Ione on. Oh gosh, I totally spaced on his name. Ornn, sorry, yeah. And then we have Firefly on Skarner, Route on Anivia, and down in the bot lane we have Enrique on Xayah and Alex on Rakan.
Oh yeah, we got a little bit of a cheese, not so much of a cheese. Faith and Will Win just walking up, getting a ward onto the enemy red buff, and securing the Skarner pillar. I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, getting the Skarner thing up in top side is definitely pretty important because Skarner will want to use that to get the scuttle if he starts blue side. So that'll slow his clear for the potential gank top side. Although it looks like he's starting red, so we're going to have to look for the ganks on either side as the jungles aren't going to be mirrored.
No, they're not, which is pretty interesting strategy from Faith. Starting at the Raptors, solo clearing it, definitely takes away a lot of information from the enemy team. because they know that both of the laners got there on time, so they don't know where Faith is going right now. So I'm expecting him to go Raptors, red buff, and right now looks like he's running up to maybe secure that other Skarner pillar.
It just looks like he's getting vision for mid lane.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do think the clear is better from the Skarner, as even if he doesn't gank, he gets to do a much better clear.
Yeah, absolutely.
As well as there's Infernal, so that's early bottom pressure that can help transition to a early dragon.
Alright, now here's something interesting. In the bottom lane, you have the John starting Doran's Blade in a potion, but Enrique actually started a Doran's Shield. What do you think the mentality behind that was?
I think it's largely because of just the Caitlyn outranging and the Morgana pool. She can just keep her health pool high so that she can't get all in. It's pretty common into poke champs or poke supports.
Mm-hmm.
Although it will lower her damage, so assuming that there's practice on it, last hitting should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. The CS is relatively even in the bottom lane, and really across the board. Another thing that I'm a pretty big fan of both mid laners taking Minion Dematerializer. Both Ryze and Anivia are able to utilize Minion Dematerializer very well, because they both have exceptional wave clear. And as the game goes on, and as the minions start piling up, that's going to be very helpful. But in the top lane, you have Ione getting engaged on by Faith and Will Win. Now Firefly is coming in, getting the slow. Faith and Will Win flashing out. Flashing forward is Firefly, actually. And now everybody's getting the damage down. Faith laying down the damage onto Ione, who flashes out himself. And now Will Win trying to get the damage on, or getting the damage by Firefly, who's very low. The Nivea coming in. First blood going over to Route. And now second blood. Faith gets taken out. And that is going to be the end of that first skirmish in the top lane. Faith and Firefly, both of the junglers taken out, both of the mid laners getting a kill for themselves, and the game is already in motion.
Even though First Blood went over to the Anivia, I still think that ended up better for the Ryze. He'll scale into the mid game much faster than Anivia.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly just because the mana items they both have to build, Ryze just gets damage from it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Ryze is able to utilize early gold much better than Anivia is. I think Ryze is a much better mid lane or mid game champion than Anivia. So if he's able to get gold, like just an easy kill right off the bat, then he's going to be able to benefit a lot from that. And now we are back in the neutral state of the game, but Firefly is actually gauging onto XK's, who dodges that stun, but gets to slow down. Does not have flash available, has to kind of fight this out, but it does not seem like a winning fight. He's getting damage, he gets shield, but he gets taken out by Route, and now you have Faith coming in, getting damage onto Route, but Firefly gets him killed as well. 2 for nothing in favor of George Mason, but now in the top lane, UT Dallas's Will Win is trying to get this kill and succeeds, killing Ione, getting a bit more gold in the pocket of UT Dallas.
We're really starting to see the top lane really just with that small gold from the skirmish top lane from the assist really start to spiral out of control. I don't think this orange really ever going to be able to fight Camille, at least for a while.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. He has 2 Doran's blades and a longsword. He has so much sustain and so much damage. Orin really doesn't have anything that he's going to be able to do to contest that damage. He does have a good amount of trading damage, but it does not compare to the amount of damage that Camille is able to output.
The real issue is that Camille's start will be dealing true damage, so the armor that he'll want to build to counter the matchup really isn't going to be effective.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that's honestly what we were talking about earlier. Will Win just needs to get kills in order to get a lead onto Ione. But now in the mid lane, you have Will Win coming in with the 1v1 box onto Route, who is in severe danger, has to flash out just to live. Will Win and XK's do have to back off as they are not able to get the kill. But now in the bottom lane, you have Alex getting knocked up, rooted, excuse me. And now Enrique is forced to run away, but he gets the root. Now the flash forward from Keen, forcing the flash out of Enrique. split-second decision made, and Enrique is going to walk out of there without any summoner spells.
Yeah, that was definitely a really good trade for the Morgana to just burn the flash. The flash for Xayah is far more important than the Morgana one.
Absolutely. Xayah, oh, excuse me, the mid lane. Now you got Rout Agnivia form coming in. XK's tanking the minion wave. He might go down, but Rout does get killed, and now gets the return kill onto XK's by the minions. Oh my goodness.
That was just real unlucky.
Yeah, he was not paying attention to all the minions that were just laying down the law, and he ended up paying the ultimate price for that.
Although it looks like it's evening back up. Ornn actually surprisingly has good pressure still top lane.
Yeah, that's the thing with Ornn. He still is going to have a lot of damage he's going to be able to put out, but I mean, right now Camille has a lot more damage than him, so I think both top laners are just waiting for a gank to come in, and that'll really set them a lot further ahead if either of them get a kill.
And
right now you see Firefly.
Yeah,
he's
Firefly's actually
chasing
invading.
Faith. It looks like there's going to be a dive, but now Ione is getting engaged by Will Win. Call of the Forge God coming through. The knockup is going to connect onto Will Win, who ends up getting taken out by Ione, and now Ione himself gets taken down by the unstoppable Ragnaroked out Faith. And Firefly has to sit back and watch his comrade die. 1-for-1 trade in the top lane.
Guess I was wrong. Both top laners don't win that, and the junglers just win with all of their ganks.
Yeah, it sounds about right. However, it does seem like Firefly, he's going in really deep. He's going to be securing the blue buff, and I'm going to assume he might just take the rest of Faith's topside jungle. So I think he's going to be coming out very far ahead in this matchup, or in this trade.
Yeah, Olaf wasn't really able to snowball off of the early clear that he was able to get, so this is kind of just what happens when you let Skarner into the match and don't early pressure him.
Firefly's flash got forced out off camera by Will Win. I don't know why directed camera didn't show us that, but Firefly did have to flash away after Will Win and XK started to collapse onto him.
Yeah, without knowledge of where the Olaf is, it's just safer to flash there.
Oh, Infernal Dragon getting started up by UT Dallas. No vision from George Mason. I think they're going to be able to take this for free. Skarner isn't anywhere nearby to contest. Now in the top lane, bit of a wet noodle fight going on. Ione's just gonna dash out. Nothing shocking there, but that damage is going to be huge for UT Dallas. They have so much damage they're able to output. But now Faith is in a bad spot. He's forced to run away from 3 members of George Mason, but he ends up succeeding, escaping with his life.
I'm surprised there hasn't been more focused bot lane on either side, especially with the potential volatility of the Morgana pick.
Yeah, Call of the Forge God from Ione onto Will Win does get the knockup, but the damage going through. Will Win going unstoppable, but he gets taken out by Will Win. His flash, or Ione does get the kill. And Will Win uses his flash, but alas, it was not enough, and he gets taken out.
And this is just a result of the constant jungle pressure top lane. Camille really hasn't been able to, like, get the poke onto Ornn or anything. Really shove.
Yeah. Absolutely, and now Ornn is actually winning the lane by around 300 gold after that final kill. And now there's a 1,000 gold lead in favor of George Mason. However, UT Dallas are going to try and do something about that. Predator popped by Faith. Rout flashing away, but it might not be enough. Rout getting so much damage applied onto him, and he gets taken out. And Ione shows up, but he's not able to do anything himself. Faith clearing some vision. 2 control wards in a bush. I think that might be the new meta.
It looks like there might be a potential dive bot lane with Olaf in that bottom jungle. Although
he is very far back there.
No, it just looks like he was getting vision for Skarner.
Yeah. And Skarner is coming down, going to realize that his jungle camps were stolen away, and he's going to leave. Now, you see right there, Will-Win is forced to walk up to try and get that cannon minion, especially after in the 8.8 changes to the minion gold. Cannon minions are so important now. They give you, I believe it's 60 gold now.
Yeah.
They're so difficult for the Camille to get because Ione has that pressure that he's able to exude. He has the sheen, he has the armor. Will-Win's kind of in his tough spot right now.
Although I think once he finishes Triforce, he'll be in a much better position. It's just getting there. And as you're talking about the cannons, I pretty much have like PTSD when I miss the cannon.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very stressful and very, very saddening whenever you miss a cannon minion now. Route getting some damage onto X-Case. Neither of them laying down lethal amounts.
I don't think we're really going to see too much in the mid lane unless junglers come. Both of them just have plenty of wave clear.
Yeah, for sure. You know, this game has been quite the bloodbath so far. You've had 12 kills in 13 minutes. But really, even though Route got the first blood, I believe UT Dallas is still a bit ahead. But now in the top lane, Faith and Will-Win engaging Ione. He misses the call of the Forge God's second cast. Now he's just trying to get out of there. He dashes out, gets the unstoppable, or the the chilling smite cast onto him. Now the flash forward by Faith, and Will-Win is going to take the kill. Now meanwhile in the mid lane, Firefly is trying to get a return kill. XK splashing out, uses his ultimate, but does not get into it. He got suppressed up. Route laying down the damage and picking up the kill.
Now that's a feels bad moment. If he still had the stopwatch interaction with the ult, he easily could have gotten out of there.
Yep, I think that was definitely a good change to Rise. Now he cannot use stopwatch and get an unescapable, or pretty much a free ultimate, free pass out of in any fight. But now George Mason taking down the first turret in mid lane. That's a lot of gold.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they turned this also into a Rift Herald. It's really the only neutral objective on the map, so...
I agree with that. But right now I don't think they really have the resources. Route has little to no mana, and Firefly backing with 900 gold. I think they're making the good choice here, just to reset and buy some items, get their mana back, and just continue the laning in this game.
Although it's an Infernal Dragon next, so I think that's where we're going to see our next big fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think either team can really afford to give up the Infernal.
Yeah, Faith is getting some vision onto it right now, and oh wow, that was an interesting interaction between Will-Win and Ione. Ione called the Forge God, going to connect, trying to get some damage now, but now actually gets the kill. But meanwhile in the mid lane you have XK using his cleanse from Route's stun, and now Unstoppable Ragnarok. Faith is going in, and now Firefly is coming in, walled off his Faith. Gets stunned up, and now Firefly looking for more, gets a stun. Flash forward comes through, but now the damage is coming through. Now Route gets the kill onto Faith. XK's running away. Keen not missing not hitting Dark Binding, and that is going to be the end of that engage in the mid lane. Now Ione throwing some minions at that tower, and Alex and Enrique just whacking away at this tower in the bottom lane. A lot of tower pressure from George Mason, and a lot of gold into their pockets.
And it looks like they're going to start the Infernal here with Olaf dead. This will
Definitely
even up the Infernals, which will really help them out because they can't really give it over. There's just so much damage with the Camille and Rise in the solo lanes.
Yeah, really, this game has been heavily centered around the mid lane and the top lane. No kills on either ADC. I mean, Morgana did get a kill, but I don't think Morgana's really the best at utilizing gold early.
Yeah, I would much rather would have seen it on the Rise, although that's not always possible.
Yeah, but now you have Route, who is very stunningly far ahead of XCase right now. And he's going to be able to pop off really in these later fights, the later team fights. And I don't know if we're going to see the Rift Herald get taken, but certainly once Baron spawns up, that gold in the pocket of Route is going to be very influential, and he's going to be able to show up big.
And just
You have Faith, the bottom lane. You can tell Faith kind of wants this gank, but he's forced to back off as Enrique and Alex don't take the bait.
they must have just seen him walk into that bush, because otherwise I feel like they would have potentially walked up for that CS. And we have Route going up for a dive top lane, but Will Win sniffed it out and was able to get out safely.
Yeah, he's going to be conceding that tower. And even then, that's more gold in the pockets. But now in the mid or in the bottom lane, you have the engage coming through from UT Dallas, the ultimate coming through from XCase. I'm a little further behind. Really, just a turret was taken on both the bottom lane and in the top lane. Ion getting that gold, but now UT Dallas wants more. They have 4 members down there. They have 4 minions there, or 5 minions there. They're going to be able to take a tier 2 tower in the bottom lane fairly easily. Firefly recognizes that they're going to be able to take 2, and he starts on the Rift Herald and actually successfully takes it as well.
Yeah, I think that play actually works out just fine with them. But both Anivia and Ornn were able to push out the lane, deny some gold, as well as the Rift Herald should give them the ability to even up the towers from that
Absolutely.
play.
Oh, you got a death push from George Mason. They're waiting. They know. Oh no! The Farsight Ward spots them out. Call the Forge God coming in from Ion. He does not get it, and Route blocks off the entrance into the jungle. And now, who is that? Firefly Route getting rooted up. Keen with the ultimate coming through, but the suppression from Firefly is there. Now everybody's flashing in. Route takes out Faith, but now Route himself is under fire. The Agnivia comes through, and he gets shut down. Ion in the middle of 4 members of UT Dallas. He ends up getting taken down as well by the Jaunts. And now you have 4 members of UT Dallas walking up into the mid lane. They want this tower. Enrique takes a tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, but this mid lane tier 1 tower is going to be taken by UT Dallas, and they might go for more. They have 3 caster minions. I don't think you're going to be able to take their tier 2 tower, but they're applying the pressure, and they're getting some damage down onto the tower. The Johns has so much damage, so much DPS, and he's laying down the law, but alas, the Johns, Keen, and XKs are forced to back off as a lack of minions and a lack of resources have finally caught up to them, and they are no longer able to push onto that tier 2 tower.
And that's pretty much brought the game back within a 1k gold lead, which is very doable from either side. I'd still give the advantage in the late game over to the red side, just because of how well they scale.
Yes.
Olaf definitely won't be able to do too much in these team fights the later the game goes on.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Olaf's main goal is to pop Ragnarok and chase down the enemy ADC. Right now, he just does not have as much damage as he needs to be able to get onto Enrique and just kill him. And as well as you mentioned this earlier, Route's Anivia, he's able to put up that wall that Olaf cannot pass. So I think you're definitely right. Olaf is not going to have as big of an effect as Firefly, as his Skarner will in a later game.
And we've yet to see any QSSs come out to counter the Skarner, which, unless Morgana gets some really nice black shields, those are going to be really important later in the game.
Yeah. Firefly's goal on Skarner, very similar to Faith. You pop your Righteous Glory and you run into the enemy ADC, suppress them, and just bring them back into your backline, and just they get taken out exceptionally quickly as well. Now you have XCase in the top lane, just getting deleted by the quickness. Grand entrance. Route himself is trying to run away. Does not have a wall available. Firefly is coming in as well. The slow is through. The Johns gets kill onto the route, but now Firefly uses the blast cone and escapes successfully. Now Ione is coming in. Call of the Forge God coming through, but the Black Shield saves him. Ione trying to lay down some damage. X-Keen will win. Faith and the Johns all together looking for something. The Firefly dodging the Will Wins engage with Flash, and now Keen black shielding himself. Ione trying to get the damage down, but he's an Orn. He doesn't have damage. Grand Edge from Alex is going to miss. Keen very low, going to escape. Will Win on the backside. Now Faith is hit low himself, doesn't have the damage to get onto Ione. It flashes out. Flash Grand Entrance gets the knockup. Enrique gets the kill. Now Alex and Enrique are going to be escaping, potentially pushing for more. Now Keen himself gets taken down. The Johns is on Caitlyn. No escape, no mobility. He's going to get taken down as well. Double kill to Ione. And that is going to be a 3 for 0 in favor of George Mason. Very good team fight, and it paid off.
Yeah, that was pretty much a 2K gold play right there.
Yeah. And now you see the completed items coming through from George Mason's members. And that was just a really good team fight. UT Dallas overextended, and they ended up paying for it. Well played to George Mason for that fight.
And that team fight couldn't have happened at a better time for George Mason.
Mm-hmm.
Ione was able to walk down just without even having to use his teleport. And they were able to just trap him in their own jungle.
Absolutely, and now you have George Mason setting up the vision control on Baron, clearing away these wards to control wards in the bush again. I really like that strategy. And in a regular ward, just chop it off. Now you have UT Dallas. I'm expecting a fight to break out. Ione, call the Forge God coming through. John's getting knocked up, and now the wall coming through from routes. And now Firefly getting this suppression. Firefly taking out the Johns. Will Win teleporting in, and now the damage is coming through. UT Dallas laying down the damage. Enrique's on a killing spree. The flash out from Keen, but now the flash forward from Routes gets to the wall. Faith is trapped. He's trying to run out of there. Now Tariff's Embrace popped by Routes, and now X-Case is going to be able to flare these waves. 1-for-1 trade, the Johns for Firefly. Neither teams have the resources to keep engaging, so George Mason are going to back off, and right now Faith is going to be clearing some vision, and now UT Dallas are just pushing in this mid wave while walking down to the Cloud Dragon. Very good call. They have the freedom to take that now.
Yeah, it's kind of just a pity dragon though. It's just an air dragon. Although buffed recently with the just permanent attack speed, it's still not really worth over having Baron control.
Yeah, well, I definitely agree with that. George Mason do have dominant vision control of the Baron right now. And taking that Cloud Dragon does benefit UT Dallas pretty well. You have the Olaf, you have the Camille. Both of these champions are going to try and get into the back line as fast as possible. Now the Cloud Dragon does give the permanent movement speed, so that will help. But really, I agree. They should have prioritized getting vision on Baron. Will Win did get some vision, but he backed right across the wall from a control ward. And now George Mason are just going to walk up again and just clear all of UT Dallas' hard work and their vision.
And we're back to just the Baron dance here.
George Mason placing a control ward down. They might be able to take this right now. Faith is in a bad spot. He did get slowed. But
and there
George
is
Mason
a disadvantage, so...
Yeah, UT Dallas does not have a TP on Will Win. Ione is just trying to waste his time. And now the control ward's getting cleared by UT Dallas. Team fight sure to break out here. Now you have Firefly. So speedy quick. Looking to catch somebody out of position. Faith is on a control ward. Clears that.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just start the Baron. Yeah, they start the Baron.
Baron started. Faith does have Smite available. Does not have Flash. Black Shield casts on him. And now the Baron is being momentarily paused. Now it resets aggro. It's a dance of death, but Enrique is in the middle lane. They don't have the DPS, and Keen with a great Black Shield, not getting stunned up, not going to get engaged on in the bottom lane. Bit of a wet noodle fight.
Yeah, the bot lane's pretty much just there for Ornn trying to get into position where he doesn't get stopped with
Rip's
the
totally
Camille.
taken. Oh, and the wall! Blocking off Faith and Keen. And now Enrique getting a kill, forcing the flash out of Faith. And now this is going to be the Baron started for sure by George Mason. You have 4 members of UT Dallas, 3 members. Camille is in the bottom lane. And Faith getting walled off. Might have a tough time getting in. Teleport coming through from Ione. Call of the Forge God cast, but he does get the second cast available. And now he dashes forward. The damage is very much there. The Baron is getting lower and lower, and everybody's laying down the damage. 3,000 health on the Baron, but the Firefly. Oh, Enrique's unstoppable, and now XK's getting taken out, and so will win. He's so low. Flash forward, Enrique gets the double kill, but now the Johns with the return kill, getting the shutdown. He gets walled up, forced to flash, and now the Baron will not be taken by George Mason, and UT Dallas end up losing 2 of their members, taking 2 members of George Mason in return, and stopping the Baron take by George Mason.
The Johns has had excellent placements of traps this game. They really were a big decider in that team fight with stopping pretty much anyone from getting to him.
Absolutely. Now, UT Dallas, you have the Johns and Faith taking the top. Oh, getting some damage onto the top tower, while King clears some Baron vision. No, I definitely agree with you. The Johns is not only incredible with the placement of the with the traps, but his positioning in these team fights is exceptional. He's able to stay and dance around in the back line while his front line takes the damage, and he's able to just stay in an effective range to lay down the damage that he needs to. And really, I think that might have been one of the biggest factors in UT Dallas stopping that Baron take.
Yeah, there's no doubt that that was a big reason for why they were able to stop it, as well as the Camille able to pretty much get there at the same time Ornn did, because of Ornn just teleporting into a honestly bad location.
Forge God coming through. XK's forced to flash out. The route onto route is there, and now quickness coming through, stunning everybody, charming everybody, Faith taking out route. Firefly under heavy fire, so is it Johns. He's getting taken out by Alex, and now Firefly himself gets taken out. UT Dallas with the double kill, and they are looking to wipe. Ione is getting the damage down. XK gets killed onto Firefly, and now Ione is in a bad spot. Double kill for XK. 3 members of UT Dallas up, getting the ace onto George Mason, and the Baron will be started.
Yeah, they shouldn't have any issues taking this Baron.
They don't have the DPS, but they sure have the damage. They have Olaf and Caitlyn down. Really, when you think about it, would be the primary people that would take this Baron. But it doesn't really matter when all of your opponents are dead, and they take the Baron without any problems.
Yeah, although we really have to see how well they're able to use this Baron. They haven't really had the opportunity to have much of the push this game, except for on side lanes with the Camille.
Yeah, and we are really in the late game now. All of the teams, or all of the members on both of the teams, are approaching full builds. So these team fights are really going to start to matter too, because we just saw, once you lose a team fight, you're going to lose the Baron. And really, you're going to lose so much pressure. Dragon is being started again. That's Cloud Dragon.
Or Infernal
really,
Dragon.
You can't die anymore. Is it an Infernal Dragon next?
Yeah, we're going to see all 3 Infernal Dragons this game. Or... Huh. Oh, sorry.
I think it's Cloud.
Yeah, it's definitely Cloud.
You can't tell off the icon at the top left. You actually gotta look at the pit. But yeah, the Cloud Dragon it seems like it's gonna be soloed by the Johns. Really, wait, no, he's not soloing. He's taking the oh no, he is taking the Dragon. Excuse me. Takes it really easily, and now you have UT Dallas in the mid lane. Wall from route. The ultimate a little off target, and the tower does get taken by UT Dallas, and they want more. They have Baron, they have minions. Willwin is in the top lane with a big wave. Ione trying to clear it, but he's going to be pretty successful. The tower on the minions, but now you have all 4 members, four members of UT Dallas in the bottom lane with a very powerful push.
They still have half of Baron left. I wouldn't be surprised if they got at least an inhib turret, if not the inhib.
Yeah, Will Win rotating to mid lane. And now you have the Siege Cannon minion. Oh no, Call of the Forge God coming through, knocking up Will Win. And the Grand Entrance not going to connect, but the suppression from Firefly and the damage from Enrique is going to be taken out. And now everybody's trying to get a foothold onto the enemy team. And now Faith pops his Ragnarok, and the Redemption is used to heal him up. And both teams are trying to disengage now. Because you have, let's see, you have 2 ultimates available from George Mason. And you have more ultimates available from UT Dallas. Really, I think UT Dallas are able to keep going and keep pushing. Faith is around 60% health, but Will Win is actually never mind. Will Win is dead. It's a 4v5. You don't want to fight that.
Yeah, without Will Win, they really don't have this side lane, and Anivio can just wave clear pretty much every wave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have Anivia and you have Xayah. They're able to clear really, really well.
I think this game will really be decided on this next Baron that's coming up.
I agree with that. But it's really tricky because if you have a 5v5 situation, neither team are going to be able to take the Baron. So you gotta get a pick. Really, I think George Mason have a better team composition for getting picks as opposed to team fights. Because you have the Xayah who has good on 1 CC, or like 1 single target CC. And Alex, really every member of George Mason is able to use non-expensive abilities in order to get a pick onto UT Dallas.
At the same time, though, you also have Morgana, who's really excels at picks too with the black binding, or dark binding, as
that
well
is
as Rise.
So both teams really just need a pick, and that could lead to the game.
There's a massive wave bot lane that is going to have to be cleared. So with that pressure, we're really going to have to see what either team is able to do with it.
Yeah, right now George Mason does have the dominant vision control of Baron right now. I think UT Dallas has got to get in there and clear some of those wards.
Yeah, with all the wards topside, Ornn's really never at threat of being dove. That's
true. And Will Win doesn't have the damage to 1v1 Ione, unless he's incredibly far out of position. But he's going to certainly try, diving under tower, and Ione laying down some damage, and Will Win loses 50% of his health.
Although, because Ornn hasn't built a Warmogs yet, the true damage that the Camille can do really can poke him out of this lane.
That's true, but on the flip side, he does have a lot of shocking... Oh, Faith getting caught out! The Ragnarok is popped, and he has to run away for his life. That's an incredibly important ability used by him, and now XK's getting chased by Firefly. The ult flash from Alex. Call of the Forge God coming through, landing onto the Johns. Now it seems like we're going to have a bit of a team fight breaking out. Kind of a death push from George Mason, but neither team are really willing to sacrifice more than they already have to go in. But you did get the flash out of the Johns, which is incredibly important for such an immobile champion. So yeah, really, next fight...
Johns really had no business taking that path there. That's way too risky without the vision on all of the members.
Absolutely. So if he can get... or if George Mason can force him to walk in a certain direction, then he's dead. He doesn't have flash available. He's not on Caitlyn. There's nothing he's going to be able to do to dodge the damage from George Mason.
And Baron's coming up in a minute, so having no flash on the Olaf is really going to be important. Or no flash on the Johns, as we're likely going to see a team fight here.
Okay. So Baron is spawned, and now you see George Mason, all with the Death Bush. You got Enrique clearing the waves. It's a bit of a bait in the mid lane. You got 3 members of UT Dallas walking up. Call the Forge God coming through, and they are very deep. Enrique lost most of his health, and now the Redemption is coming through. Unstoppable Ragnarok, Olaf running around. Another 2v1. XK is trying to get the damage down on Firefly, and now Enrique getting caught out. Will Win taking the kill. Credit for that one. Ione Root getting I Will Win dead. And now Faith laying down the damage. Alex getting taken out. Now the Johns taking out Firefly. It's a bloodbath, ladies and gentlemen. Double kill for the Johns, and now that's going to be an ace in favor of UT Dallas. Long death timers. You got 35 seconds at least. And now the ultimate being used by XK is dragging the minions up, and they're going to look to end the game. They're going to be taking the inhibitor tower. They're going to be taking the inhibitor. They're walking up. They're looking for the first Nexus tower. You got 15 seconds left on the death timers, and they're going to be looking to game. First turret's down, the second turret's down, and now the Nexus is going to be the target. Ladies and gentlemen, UT Dallas are going to take the first game over George Mason.
I'm actually kind of surprised on how this game went. I honestly thought that the game would end up differently. I thought they didn't have the scaling in order to win these late game team fights, but I was very wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, that game was